Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I cannot believe it's already September and that 2025 planning season is here. As you can tell from the title of the video, I'm really struggling with my lineup for 2025, and I thought I'd take you guys through my thoughts and have you guys kind of weigh in and let me know in the comments as well what you guys are using, because I always find it so helpful to hear what other people are doing, and sharing that discussion with you guys in the comments just it really helps me with my system, because let's be honest, we all love talking about planner systems, right? So I think I have two kind of major dilemmas, and I thought I'd talk through you guys through each of them, and then just kind of see what you guys think and hopefully give myself some clarity as well as I talk through them. Okay, so let's start high level with dilemma number one, which is whether to use paper, digital, or some sort of hybrid solution. So I started my journey and have always been a paper planner. If you follow my channel, you know that I've tried probably like every planner under the sun. And I started my planner journey with TNs.
I actually found the planner community through TNs, and my first real planner was a Foxy Fix. Do you guys still use Foxy Fixes? They were the best.
Then rings and book bound. And in most years, I've switched kind of between these, as well as dabbling in digital planning here and there, but I always found I would come back to paper planning just because there's something about the feel of paper. I think it's because it's our hobby, just the comfort of a book or something to hold made me always come back to a paper planner. But what I found is that I was constantly switching between different planners because of a new cover release or a planner someone in the community was using. There's just so many options now, which is great, but at the same time, it just makes you want to try every single planner. And being on YouTube and in the planner community, I got tempted a lot, but I always justified this by saying that, oh, you know, it's a hobby and it's kind of my job or one of my jobs, which to be honest, like I think it is a legitimate reason, but I didn't like that I was constantly spending, and frankly, I was wasting so much paper because I wouldn't finish many of those planners, especially with book-bound planners. You'll see that this is my Hobonichi cousin from this year, and I haven't done much in this book. And this is just one example. I have loads of other examples of empty notebooks that I loved and I just never finished. Same with ring planners. I would print and cut so many inserts, and a lot of them would just be blank. And, you know, not only was this kind of wasteful, but I wasn't being functional because I was constantly copying, rewriting from one place to another, and I just didn't feel like I could rely on any of my planners because it wasn't something that I would stick in for long enough. And so you don't develop the habit or like trust that that planner has all your information, which I really didn't like. So that kind of brings me to digital. And I found that every time I kind of got busy in life, I would gravitate towards digital, and it fixed a lot of the cons I just mentioned with the physical planners. But of course, it has its own cons that I'll talk about. So I find digital so functional because I'm on Outlook for work, Google Calendar with my husband, and I'm constantly asking Siri on my watch or on my phone to remind me to do stuff. And not to mention that I don't need to rewrite things over again if I decide to test different digital planners for my shop. So like you'll see that I have used many different digital planners in this year, and it's so easy to switch between them because it's all just digital. And then of course I also don't have to rewrite anything in the digital form factor because I can just copy and paste things over. And if you are thinking about trying digital planning for 2025 or in the past and you don't want to spend the money to, you know, purchase a digital planner, because some of these can be expensive. I make it in my shop, but of course, if you are having to buy it, it does add up. So if you guys have been wanting to try digital planning, but don't want to spend the money, you know, buying a digital planner and everything, or maybe you've actually thought about about opening your own planner shop, it's actually fairly easy to create digital planners, especially through platforms like Skillshare, which is the sponsor of our video. They have so many different classes on everything from productivity, photography, fine arts, Photoshop, marketing, anything that you can think of under the sun, I feel like they have on Skillshare. And of course, you can also learn how to make digital planners on there. As you may know, there's so many different programs that you can use, from Adobe InDesign to Procreate to Canva, and you can find digital planning classes on all of these programs there. So my favorite class on Skillshare was Design a Digital Planner on Your iPad in Procreate by Liz Kohler-Brown. As you guys may know, I'm an accountant, so I'm not much of an artist. So I really wanted to learn how to use the tool that allows you to produce more artistic planners. And with Skillshare's learning paths, it's now even easier to go kind of from beginner to advanced by following these paths, because it basically creates a program for you of videos to follow that you can kind of think of like a school curriculum building on its difficulty. So if you want to try digital planning without having to purchase a planner, I'd highly recommend that you check out Skillshare. The first 500 people to sign up using my link below will have a month access for free. So you can literally take all the classes you want, design and build your digital planner, and you've done it all for free. So thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now, the only thing that I miss when I'm in a digital planner is that feel of paper, like I mentioned. It's just something about the material feel of paper. And sometimes I don't have a bigger iPad screen, and sometimes my phone is just a bit too small to see my calendar. So then in those times, it would be nice to be able to pull out a physical planner, and have it ready to go. And I've also found, especially coming back from vacation recently, that, I don't know, something when I'm traveling, I love a little notebook. In the past, I've always carried my Passport Traveler's notebook with me. You'll see this one has a lot of love. It's my blue cover. And this was the first trip I didn't bring it, thinking that I could just be digital because that's what I've been using the past month or so. And I really did notice that I missed it. So yeah, that's what kind of made me think that I don't know if I can just do 100% digital. But then the only thing is, I do not want to duplicate anything between my digital planner and a physical planner. I definitely don't like to copy and paste things. I don't want to have the same information over and over again. I've been pretty busy recently at work, and we have some house renovations going on because we just purchased a new house, and I just don't have the time to kind of have duplicate things everywhere. So I cannot have them have the same information. So that's kind of that first dilemma. Like, what do? Do I just go back to paper? But then digital is just so easy, especially when I'm at work all day. And so I'm just having such a hard time deciding. So what I've been leaning towards is, again, using that hybrid type system, going digital, but then picking some sort of paper planner. And so that kind of brings me to dilemma number 2. And so if I go paper, then I'm having a hard time deciding what I should use in conjunction with my digital. So should I go Hobonichi or like a sterling ink type notebook? Do I do rings or do I do traveler's notebook? I'm confused because all of these have its own pros and cons. I think with the launch of Hobonichi, I'm obviously sucked into the marketing and the designs of their new covers and everything. And I used to love the weeks, which would be a perfect kind of maybe on the go size. But as you can see, I never finish a notebook, and I have so many weeks and different planners in the past, and I never get through the full year with a notebook because it's kind of so confined. I don't know if I want to do that. The second one is rings. And with rings, I do love rings, and I love the flexibility of rings and being able to move things around. But the only thing about rings is I find if I'm traveling or I'm on the go, rings is just not that convenient because the form factor tends to be a bit bigger. Like even if I go pocket size compared to like a Passport Traveler's notebook, it's a lot thicker because you have like the rings, right? But rings gives me that flexibility and, allows me to like cut things and punch them and add them to my planner, which I really love, especially when I'm traveling and I collect different ephemera. It's just so nice to be able to stick it into your ring planner. Or do I kind of go traveler's notebook, which I really, really, really love for traveling. But a couple things with the traveler's notebook that's difficult is that I don't like that, like, it typically doesn't lay flat, right? Like if you have a notebook, you'll see I carry this with me when I'm traveling and my kids kind of do doodles and stuff in it, which I love. But if you're using this for your day-to-day or on the go or whatever, I don't like that, like, it doesn't stay open. And so it's kind of finicky if you're trying to write in it day-to-day. Yeah. So that's kind of the dilemma that I'm having between like these different types of planners. I'm having such a hard time. I literally cannot decide between these. I'm leaning towards using a paper planner for kind of on the go and travel. And then this is kind of my daily planner because I am on a laptop. I am on Outlook day to day. And so my thought is this is day to day, this will be on the go, but then what's the form factor? It would be, I think if I did a notebook, it would be like a Hobonichi Weeks or a Sterling Ink, one of her smaller planners, like the pocket size, or maybe one of her booklets, or even an A6 Hobonichi, possibly. The A6 Techo is possibly a contender. Do I go rings and go pocket rings, or maybe personal, pocket or personal? Or do I go traveler's notebook and then just kind of deal with the fact it doesn't lay flat and just carry my clip all the time? I don't know. I feel like all of them could work, so I'm just having a hard time deciding what to do here. If you guys are in a similar situation, can you please let me know down below what you guys are thinking, especially with all the releases that are coming up? Like, are you guys holding yourself back before purchasing anything? And how are you going to navigate that because the releases come out at different times? I would love to hear your thoughts, especially those who have thought about digital and paper and hybrid. What caused you to choose one or the other? Or are you trying both next year? Let me know down in the comments. I would appreciate it so much. Let me know if you guys have planned out your system next year. Tell me about your system. That's my favorite thing to talk about, as you guys might know. And yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble. Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and I'll talk to you guys down below in the comments. Thanks. Bye.